Greetings guys, girls, and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are well, and I hope that you are fighting, because there's a lot to be fighting for. Rainbow. I said same as the last video. I don't know which one of these is coming first. So maybe these are the same as the last video, or maybe the next video is the same as this video. Today we're doing something that we haven't done for a while. It's one of my favorite things to do because it amuses me greatly while also making me extremely uncomfortable, which is the whole purpose of this channel, right? And that is men writing women, because they always do a really banger job. They nail it. They get it spot on. They know exactly how women work. They nail it. Every time. Yeah. So we're gonna just go appreciate how men write women. In honor of that, today's video is sponsored by Intimina, and I will tell you more about them shortly. No, Craig. I want a big, dumb, fake answer. Noelle rolls her eyes. I think her breasts roll in sync with them. Girls' breasts are so amazing. I mean, boobs are amazing. You are right. They're great. All boobs are great. Not just girls' boobs. All boobs are great. Sorry. Her breasts rolled with her eyes? What does that look like? What do you mean? In my head, I'm imagining, like, boobs as, like, pool balls, like, on your chest, and they just, like, roll backwards, and that's so funny. Imagine if boobs could do that. That's not... I want to know what that looked like in this author's head when he wrote that. I want to know what that looked like to him. I'm so intrigued. I'm fascinated by that statement. I go into the bookstore. Inside there's a girl walking around, and she's pretty to me. She has a pretty face and a pretty body, and it feels nice to be close to her. She fixes her glasses and walks past me, looking at the books. I wonder if she's thinking about having sex with me. No. This is how so many of these men just feel all the time. That they see a pretty girl and they're like, I wonder if she wants to fuck. No, she doesn't. She's not thinking that. You're thinking that. You're at a bookstore. If she walked past you looking at the book, you think she's thinking about... No. No. Don't look at women and just think about sex. That's really fucking gross and weird. Don't do that. Don't do that. She's just buying books. I know this is fiction, but you know that this is something that he thinks in real life, right? The chances are no, she is not thinking about having sex with you. That's all I have to say about that one, really. I just like how they project and put this in books. They're like, it's not problematic if it's fiction. She didn't need tape from Milan to hold up her tits. They were light and springy, with nipples that reminded Piper of the bottom of an ice cream cone. What is it with boobs? Why are men so obsessed? Like, they're so obsessed with boobs. Like, boobs are great. I get it. I agree. But calm down. What do you mean her nipples look like the end of an ice cream cone? What do you mean by that? I found myself agreeing and wondered later if my ovaries had made the decision for me. They sometimes jiggle when I'm around a man I fancy. Some people get butterflies in their tummies. I have jiggling ovaries. That's one of the funniest things I've ever read. That's so funny. That's so funny. Ma'am, maybe you should go to the doctor. I don't think you can tell when your ovaries move. Do you know how ovaries are, like, very, very small? You couldn't tell if they jiggled, and if they do jiggle, and you can tell, please go to a doctor. I don't think that that's meant to happen. Imagine feeling your ovaries, other than, like, you know, period pain, but I'm pretty sure that's mainly your uterus and not your ovaries that hurts. I don't think you should be feeling your ovaries unless you have, like, a cyst, in which case go to a doctor immediately. Please and thank you. Those hurt like a bitch. So you should probably get that checked out. And on the topic of feeling your ovaries while having a period, let's take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Ziggy 2 by Intimina. Ziggy 2 is a menstrual cup that you are able to wear during penetrative sex, which is super cool. It comes in two sizes, A and B, and they look like this. They're made of, like, really petal thin silicone so that they can, like, you know, move around and stuff. But basically you just, like, insert it up there like you normally would, and it can catch the menstrual flow, and you can have penetrative sex while wearing it without discomfort, which is really great because although period sex is totally fine, it can be a little bit messy. Some people can feel a little bit like self-conscious about it. It can get, you know, the sheets dirty and just not be the best time and requires cleanup. Having Ziggy takes away the need to have a cleanup afterwards because, you know, everything stays contained and clean. And although there is no shame or anything in having period sex, some people makes them feel a bit icky. It's not fun for some people, and that's totally fine as well. So this stops you from having to stress about that at all. And they're just overall really, really cool, decently easy to use, and comfortable. If you are interested in trying out Ziggy for yourself, then you can use the link in my description. I highly recommend. I love working with Intimina. I love their products so much, and I think that these are really cool. And I like that they come in 2 sizes because, you know, everyone has different flows. And yeah. Ziggy 2. Check it out. Jack, the Story of a Cat by Hilda Simpson. The author was a girl about 12 years old, just entering into puberty. She had lemon-sized breasts against a green sweater. She was awakening to adolescence in a delightful way. That's vile. That's disgusting. That's one of the worst things I've ever read. That's absolutely awful. Don't, why are you talking about a 12-year-old like that? She was growing into her adolescence in a delightful way. That's the jail. Absolutely do not say that. Why are you talking about a 12-year-old's boobs? And why are you saying that she's like developing in a delightful way? Stay away from children at all times. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. She moved towards the village, allowing her hips to continue the conversation. Anna turned her head to see if her rhythmical magnet was functioning properly. It was. She stopped, pursing her nipples towards him, and then swung on. I don't even know what that was trying to say. What was the point in that? What did that describe? How did that make any sense to anyone? And how did it help the storytelling in any way? That's the thing with all of this, right? Is there's a lot of like, you know, describing boobs. But in what way does that aid the story? Like, you don't need to know the shape of someone's boobs and the personality of them, because for some reason boobs have personality, in order to tell a story and to envision someone, because you don't describe any other feature in that detail. You don't describe like men's bodies like that, so you clearly are aware that it's not important to the story. You just have a weird fantasy that you want to like portray in like very explicit detail because you want people to imagine women in a continuously constant sexual way. Just don't. Just write women the same way that you write men. It's really not that hard. We're all people. Just write us the same. Oh my god. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Ayame mourned the death of these 2 friends deeply. It saddened her to think that these women were forever gone from the world, and she mourned their lovely breasts that had vanished without a trace. Yeah. When I lose a friend and they die, I spend time mourning over their boobs. Oh my gosh, what beautiful boobs they were. I'm so upset that I'll never get to see them ever again. What kind of priorities? What? No, what? I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Sorry, huh? Where? Why? What? I'm lost. I don't quite understand why that was put in there, why you would think that that's a thing that ever happens or that people care. That's so bizarre. That's so bizarre. I know I say that a lot, but this one's truly baffled me. Here is an example of what it would be like if women wrote men the way that men write women. He charged into the room, pert testicles bouncing gaily. I saw a scar and wondered if he'd had a vasectomy. He opened his plump lips full of promise, but annoying words came out. Something about a football match. See, it's weird, right? If you read that to a man, they would think that that's bizarre. So weird and gross and just not at all how you talk about people. So why is it okay to talk about women like that? Why is it okay to write women like that? It's unnecessary. There was not a single detail in this that was at all necessary. It's all just like degrading and gross and unnecessary and doesn't do anything for any story other than make me deeply uncomfortable. Like, there's no point. Just write stories. Everything should have a purpose. And it's weird how much detail goes into talking about women that have no purpose at all. Her breasts were clusters of grapes, like in the Bible. That is an image, if I have ever if I have ever seen one, if I've ever had one. That is an image. That's definitely an image. In my head, for some reason, I don't know why, this is where my brain goes. I imagine it's like squeezing boobs that are like a ton of grapes. It reminds me of like, you know those like squishy balls that come in like the like netting, and you squeeze them and the like the rubber comes out all the like little holes. That's what I'm imagining in my head. And that's really funny. But it also makes me deeply uncomfortable. How would that look under like a shirt? How would that look in general? What would that be? What are the logistics of this? Her breasts were like clumps of grapes, like in the Bible. Yes. Also, what do you mean like in the Bible? I've never read the Bible. I was going to say, did I miss something in the Bible? I've never read the Bible. I don't know anything about the Bible other than people make up some shit sometimes and say stuff that's not in there and ignore stuff that is there. I don't know anything about the Bible, like at all. But I'm pretty sure no one has grape boobs, right? Pretty sure. That'd be a really weird thing to include in the Bible, but there's a lot of weird shit in there. So, who knows? Grape boobs. Jesus loves grape boobs, I guess. Angela ran for her dear life, pistols in hand, one shoe untied, and breasts bouncing like two pit bulls who were trying desperately to escape from the confines of her shirt. Like two pit bulls. Listen, the way that in my head I'm imagining like the rapper, like Mr. Worldwide, like clawing out of her chest. That is the first thought that I had, and that is what's upsetting and unfortunate. Either way, really weird. What does two pit bulls fighting to get off her chest, bouncing? How does your brain even go there? You know what? I kind of want to see inside these people's brains just for like 5 seconds, because how do they get there? What goes through their mind that makes them come up with these ideas and then like write it and then like publish it? Whether in like a book or online or whatever, they put that out in the world for people to see. That's a thought that they have that they write down and then they share. How? What? I don't think I do want to see the inside of their brains. Actually, I don't, but I would like to know. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave this one here. I think it's been a bit of a shorter one than normal, because I'm tired, so I make the rules. The video ends here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed. Thank you to my Kiwi from Kiwi Bird channel members whose names are up on the screen right now. I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to subscribe to my second channel, Kiwi. I've been enjoying uploading over there a bit. I'm doing another Jubilee video. I'm about to film another one now that'll probably be up by the time you're watching this. So if you want to go check that out, you totally should. I've got a bunch of videos up there of a whole different range of stuff. So no matter what you like, I probably have a video, except that's not true at all. But we can pretend that it is, and you can go subscribe because I will give you a cookie. What type of cookie? A gay cookie. What does that mean? You'll have to subscribe and find out. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. And when you close your eyes,